Today is Sunday, and it's another day for us to call on the government to protect Christians in northern Nigeria. As we speak, I am shedding tears for Christians in northern Nigeria. I'm shedding tears. The Christians in northern Nigeria are calling on the government and also the Christians in southern Nigeria over the attacks of the Fulani Jihadist Islamic fundamentalists. Now, a recent report we have is that they are trying to impose Sharia forcefully on Christian communities, schools, and colleges. I repeat, these Fulani Islamic Jihadist fundamentalists, they are trying to impose Sharia forcefully, force by force, on Christian communities in northern Nigeria, especially Katsina State, where the former head of state comes from. Now, when you look at the report, 8 Catholic schools were shut down in Katsina for Ramadan, and this has affected the learning of over 2,500 Christian students. This is coming from a bishop in northern Nigeria. Remember, a bishop left Nigeria, left the Nigerian government, went to the United States to put pressure on Trump's administration to come to the aid of Nigerian Christians, northern Christians in Nigeria. That the killings too much. The killings are too much. The killings didn't start today. Over the decades, Christians have been killed on a yearly basis. Now, the Nigerian government that is saddled with the responsibility of securing the lives of its citizens have failed in that respect. That even took a bishop who left Khan. He traveled to the United States to complain about these killings. These 4 northern states that closed schools for Ramadan, they have, is either the governor is a Fulani or they are Fulani sympathizers, jihadist Islamic fundamentalist sympathizers. Because I don't know why a former president would be in power, and we are seeing increasing killings of Christians on a daily, and nothing is happening. What do you expect the people to do? We southern Christians, you see how we are looking good. We are well dressed. We are going to church. There are no guns. There's no tension. There's no fear. We wear put our perfume. We look good and we go to church. While some people in northern Nigeria are being persecuted, are being chased, are being hunted down because they are Christians. They came to southern Nigeria and they told us that Sharia is not going to affect non-Muslims. What is happening now in Katsina State? They have gained so much power. The governor of that Katsina State is a Fulani. They have gained so much power that they want to now impose Sharia on everybody. And some clerics, even from Southwest, are now telling us that Sharia has nothing to do with non-Christians. But this is an example we are showing you in Katsina State. Let me read on. Bishop Gerald Musa noted this as he raised concern of this violation of the rights of Christian pupils to education in the state. But this is not the most concerning issue. Islamists and Muslim militants in the northern region are killing Christians. This is what the alarm this bishop is raising. His name is Bishop Gerald Musa, a northerner. He's telling the United States, he's telling the Nigerian government and also southern Christians that are comfortable in their own kind of service that Islamists and Muslim militants in northern region are killing Christians. He says, earlier this week at the House of Foreign Committee on Africa, a congressional hearing was held about the persecution of Christians by Islamists in Nigeria. They are killing, they are kidnapping, they are raping, stealing lands, renaming villages over there. Bishop Wilfred Anagui noted. See the pattern. They are killing, they are kidnapping, raping, stealing lands, and renaming villages. Look at Enugu, for instance, an example. See, we have, first one is killing, the second one is kidnapping, number 3 is raping. Then from that, they graduate to stealing lands. From stealing lands, they graduate to renaming villages. This is what we call conquest. In Enugu State, they are killing, they are kidnapping, they are raping women. And I'm not even shocked that the Enugu State governor has not come out to speak on this. Because most of them, they get their electoral victory from some assurances from some Fulani Islamic whatever assurances. Look at Imo State. Most of them, if not for these Fulani people that will manipulate the system on their behalf, they wouldn't be governors. So they need to be loyal to their masters. So I don't blame the Enugu State governor for not speaking up against the killing of his people. His responsibility is to protect the lives and properties of his people. He has failed in that respect and is not speaking up. And the next day you see him come and be giving orders up and down. Respect is earned, not you don't demand respect. Respect, you earn it. Now he went on to say, okay, after killing, raping, and all that, they steal your lands. After they steal your lands, they will now rename the villages. To what name? To Fulani names. This is a bishop because most times people will just stay in silence and they don't talk. The media want to show us what they want us to see. But the reality is they don't want us to see the realities. Just like the Enugu State governor. Usually if it were the media, killings are happening. No. If it's left for the government, they will not publicize those killings. You see, they are silent on it. That's how the media most times are silent on the killings of Christians in northern Nigeria. They will not talk on those killings. They will just be looking at you. And they will be begging. Enugu State traditional rulers went to start begging the Sultan of Sokoto that these killings are too much. Does it make sense? It's a conquest. That means you are slaves. For instance, in those days, if a kingdom is fighting another kingdom, and that kingdom, the first kingdom defeats the second kingdom and puts you under tribute, that is what you do. If you conquer territory, maybe the second kingdom that is conquered, they allow them to run their kingdom, but you will pay us taxes. So in case somebody from my own kingdom, that is the conqueror, goes into that kingdom and start killing people, what does the people of the second kingdom do? Kingdom B? They will send emissaries to come and beg me. They are my slaves. I'm their conqueror. I'm their master. So Enugu traditional rulers went there and started using political grammar, those kind of to start begging the Sultan of Sokoto. Sultan of Sokoto told them that respect those people that are there. What are they respecting? We are living peacefully, just peacefully. I have my farm, my ancestral land, which I have been farming for. My great grandfathers have been farming on that land for over 100 years. And that farm, because of one Nigeria, some people came into my community village and they encroached on my farm. So what is the Sultan of Sokoto asking us to respect? Should we respect people that are coming into our farmlands to destroy our crops, to destroy our source of living? Hard work done by this farmer. There's a video about these Fulani guys. They'll come, they'll put your cassava, give it to their cows. So is it what the Enugu State traditional rulers went to meet the Sultan of Sokoto and give them a reply? Respect what? Respect the killings? Respect the kidnappings? Anywhere you see Fulani in any of those regions, you see there's always tension because of their reputation. And this is one of their reputation that we are talking about. So we in southern Nigeria, Christians, looking good, going to church, we think that what goes around will not come around. You see the issue of Boko Haram. We thought that it's only in northern Nigeria that Boko Haram, let them kill themselves. But we forget that it is from that Boko Haram region that we get a president. We got a Buhari from the Boko Haram region. And when it comes to power, he will start using our monies to fund our soldiers to go and die, collectively, our collective money, be pumping it in the north. We sit down and say, okay, it doesn't concern us. But our collective commonwealth is being pumped into the north because of Boko Haram. Our collective, the CBN gave, the other time, Emefiele gave them 100 billion naira. Our collective commonwealth, we think is not going to affect us. Look at inflation. Look at when Tinubu came into power. According to reports, we got wind of the fact that they said, I'm getting tense this morning. I'm getting tensed. We Southern Christians, we are here, and these guys are going through a lot. And we think we shouldn't do anything. We should actively speak up and also take actions. Those that have the capacity. to take actions, let us take actions. If it took a northern bishop in northern Nigeria to travel all the way from northern Nigeria to the United States, he traveled all the way from northern Nigeria to the United States to complain about the killings. It tells you that there's fire on the mountain. This is becoming, it has gone beyond, say, we sit down there and start looking. Let's move on. Bishop, the agenda is to exterminate the Christian population and make the nation an Islamic one. Bishop Wilfred Anagwe, a Makurdi Claritarian missionary, noted this at the hearing. The agenda is to exterminate the Christian population and make the nation an Islamic one. People are consistently saying this thing. I've been saying this for a very long time. Some people just stand there and say, what did this boy know? What does he know? How would you say the Fulani are trying to Islamize Nigeria? How will you say so? This is a bishop, a missionary in northern Nigeria that stayed in northern Nigeria for a very, very long time, if not born there. His name is Musa. His name is Musa. Gerald Musa. He's saying that the aim, the agenda, I told you that everybody have agenda. The Southwest have agenda, the Southeast have agenda, every region, Middle Belt have agenda. The Fulani agenda, this is their agenda. The agenda is to exterminate the Christian population and make the nation an Islamic one. That is the agenda. And we are here folding our hands. It is not coming from me now, because I know nothing. I know nothing. It's coming from the horse's mouth. There are reports, there are videos, there are pictures that will give credence to this claim. Yes. Now, you went on to say, the experience of the Nigerian Christians today can be summed up as that of a church under Islamist extermination. Somebody left the country to another country because telling Trump that what is summed up, what they are trying to do in Nigeria is Islamist extermination. That is jihad. That's why I call them Fulani Islamic Jihadist fundamentalists. I know why I put the Fulani there. I've told you, I've explained this for a very, very long time, that anything that has to do with Uthman Danfodio, the Fulani are trying to achieve that agenda. Now, it is frightening to live there. He also continued, apart from the violent campaigns and attacks against Christian villages, there are now attempts by the Islamic Council of Nigeria and various Islamic groups to impose Sharia law, Islamic law on the Christian populations. I said this at the beginning of my broadcast. Attempts to impose Islamic law on the Christian populations. This is the reality of Christians in Nigeria. In the last decade, 145 Catholic bishops have been kidnapped. In the last decades. These people, for instance, now they enter Ondo State Forest. They stay in the forest. What is their stock in trade? What will they be doing? Not only cows. They will be looking for money. And how do they get to make that money? Kidnapping. They will kidnap, they collect 100 million, 50 million. That's how they make their money. They will just come. Instead of them coming to the town, like every other person, get a house, get a land. If you want to rear your cows, get a land where they can be feeding. They will not. They will just go straight into the bush. Those ones that already have cows, they will not be connecting to them because they know how to speak their language and they know how to communicate to themselves. Because it is an agenda. So those ones, for them to survive, is kidnapping. These are people that are promoting Islam. Kidnapping. So 145 Catholic bishops have been kidnapped. 11 killed and 4 still missing. Nigeria, this is a Catholic bishop. It is not me that is saying it. When I start saying it, you don't like the country. You don't like the country. Nigeria is the most dangerous place to live as a Christian. That is what the bishop is saying. Nigeria is, look at how Nigeria is being sold out of the country. I've told you that this system will not work. If you stay here, the system might even unalive us. Instead of us to start looking at how we can revolutionize and change the system, we are here looking at ourselves. After Tinubu 8 years, Tinubu will do 8 years now. I agree with that. You know, when I say Tinubu will do 8 years, some people like what I'm saying, and that's the fact. Let me tell you, Tinubu is doing 8 years. After 8 years, the Fulani will come. You see El-Rufai, look at what El-Rufai is doing. Laughing with Tinubu, but because of one or two things. You see how they are El-Rufai doesn't want to be a candidate. El-Rufai does not want to be a candidate. But because of some of the reforms Tinubu is doing, and Tinubu is poking his hand in the eyes of the North. You put Yoruba everywhere. You neglect them. They are out of power. They are out of funds. They are not. Look at the security apparatus. Yoruba man, Southern Kaduna man, Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff. So when they are doing that meeting, an Igbo man is in the Navy. Some other persons that are not called Northerners are in the security apparatus of Tinubu. So now, it's like they are not in the security system. Yes. So they are so angry with all the restructuring Tinubu is doing. And look at how they are laboring so hard to make sure that they stop Tinubu. Not to talk of 8 years. They cannot even wait for this southern person, this man particularly. They believe, they don't want to wait for him to finish his tenure. They can't wait to tell how evil and how desperate people are. So, after 8 years, if Fulani comes, what do you think they will do? Especially to the Southwesterners. That's why there's a question they asked the other time, that who is going to replace, who are the people that are going to walk in the shoes of Tinubu? Who are they? See, it might be difficult to get somebody. If the system changes, it will be easy to get somebody that will step in the shoes of Tinubu. But under this system, my personal opinion, this Fulani want to pay back what Tinubu has done. This particular Fulani, Buhari is retiring over 80 years. Add 8 years to his years. El-Rufai is inheriting his base. Still very much a young person. I think 60 something. So these people have gotten a success already in the north. With the Fulani, let me repeat it myself again. Mention one Hausa politician. Mention one. All the prominent politicians in the north, they are Fulani. It tells you how these people come. And don't bring out conspiracy theories. The Fulani are not doing anything. As you are opening your eyes and closing your eyes, they are taking positions. The Fulani are not doing anything. As you are opening your eyes and closing your eyes, Hausa emirs are no more. Hausa leaders are no more. We have Fulani leaders. You close your eye, open your eyes. VCs, Vice Chancellor of universities in northern Nigeria are Fulani. You close your eye, open your eyes. Don't carry conspiracy theories. We are law-abiding people. Before you know, governors, no single Hausa governor. Don't carry conspiracy theory. We are law-abiding people. Before you know it, no single politician from Hausa in the north you can call. Is it Mustafa? Before you call Mustafa, you call Atiku, you call El-Rufai. They are prepping. Let's continue. Now, a non-Fulani has talked about this. He said Nigeria is the most dangerous place to live as a Christian. Around 90% of all persecuted Christians are Nigerians in the world. Around 90% of all persecuted Christians are Nigerians. A non-Fulani Christian who preaches in the north had to run for his life because they wanted to assassinate him. We'll do that broadcast separately because there are some things I want to point out. From that Fulani Christian, the guy is a vibrant young man who got converted and has been converting his brothers and his people in village. They are sending death threats. These are Sharia people Sharia. Come and say Sharia will not affect non-Muslims. Or Sharia will not affect non-Muslims. You think you are deceiving anybody. Now, why are we saying this? First, to let you know that Christians in Nigeria are persecuted. We are in potential danger for your faith, especially northern Nigeria. Secondly, to allow our Christian church leaders to take action. The likes of Oyedepo, the likes of Adebe and Co. This is one message for the southern leaders to take action on this. You have influence. He says they are not doing anything visibly on public record. They are not doing anything visibly on public record in recent times about this spate of bloodshed. Khan released a statement for Gospel Akpabio during the sexual harassment saga. But we don't think they released one for the priest killed on Ash Wednesday. Khan. When people start talking about Khan now, you see some people, some unfortunate human beings will now come from one forest. Maybe they are living in estate, they think they have sense. They will now be telling you, why are you talking about Khan? People are dying, and this was happening. Khan is releasing a statement about sexual. Okay, we might be wrong, but we didn't see one. No statement on the man, the Igbo priest that was killed on Ash Wednesday. Lastly, the only defense our northern brethren have is the church. The government gives the Muslim militants impunity. According to Bishop Wilfred, he said, when they call the police and the army, they don't respond. I mean, don't mean Tokamu, now Bishop Wilfred Toka. When they call the police and army, they don't respond. Who are in the police and army? Who are the organs in police and army? Let's not be at ease. The same Haman in Bible. If you're a Christian, you understand Haman. He wanted to exterminate all his Israelites. King. He was close to the king. The same Haman who determined to kill the Israelites in the country. You kill the one in the citadel. Let Esther not think she is untouchable. So, a plea to our southern pastors and southern leaders, Christian leaders. This is what is happening in northern Nigeria. Let's try and start speaking the truth. And we don't know the southern leadership today have influence in the government. Whatever we can do to help these people, we should do, because they really need our help and our support. Southern Nigeria. He said, he closed by saying this. The same Haman, I repeat, determined to kill the Israelites in the country, will kill the ones in citadel. You see how they tried bringing Sharia into southern Nigeria, because they are succeeding in the north. They never stop until they achieve the agenda of Uthman Dan Fodio.